Hello and welcome to a new series of inCycle, a unique insight into professional cycling. In this 2016 season, we'll bring you this extraordinary sport in all its beauty and drama.
Oh, this is amazing. Modolo's also in the mix. It's spread far and wide. Oh, at long last out the line. What an absolutely superb piece of work by Lamprey Marina.
We go behind the scenes, inside the minds.
It's not like I want to put a cherry on top of the cake. I just want to put a bag of cherries on top of the cake, then get another bag. I want to keep winning.
The cobbles are there to slow you down, so it's up to you to defeat them.
And into the science of cycling, revealing the latest developments in tactics and technology.
It's going to become very, very technical. It's an arms race of technology right now.
On this week's programme, we talk to Peter Stettiner about coming back from the break.
They packed me up pretty quick. That's when I realized that it was pretty bad.
Rompot Oranje Peloton get to grips with their new brakes. And the world champions at Strade Bianche.
It would be a huge compliment for me to be, made a comparison with Peter, because I admire the way he races.
But first, we go on the comeback trail with Marcel Kittel. If there was one story that astounded cycling in the off-season, it was the switch German sprinter Marcel Kittel made from Giant Alpecin to Ethics Quickstep, where he replaced long-standing rival Mark Cavendish. Kittel had a torrid time in 2015, and as he made a fresh start in new colours, inCycle had a front-row seat.
In the years before, I was always used to winning. Everything was going smooth. I never had a real big injury or something, then there was that year 2015, and nothing was good anymore like I was used to it. That was a new experience also for me. I think that's something that will help me for the rest of my life, I guess. For me, an important step in part of that process to come back to old form was also to really work together with the team to get an idea of what they were used to work, and on the other side also to bring them maybe a little bit my side closer, how I would like to have it. And we had good talks about it. We also talked about the sprint, the lead out, the whole training, everything. And I think it was a very, very good cooperation in the winter, in the training camps. I'm in Dubai because it's a very good race for sprinters, and for me personally also a very nice start to my new season. I have great memories from 2014, not 15, and it's also for us a good moment to test the team, regarding the lead out, regarding the sprint, how does it work, and we don't have too much stress yet. I feel calm, which is also quite surprising for me, because in the last days I was really focused already on the start here in Dubai. But now I really have to admit I can focus without being too nervous, I think.
Welcome to the 2016 Dubai Tour, stage 1, early February, and it's sunshine in Dubai and a thrilling race in prospect.
Today I really have to say I'm super happy with the lead out. It's almost too good. It's something that makes me very proud that we could really make that switch to make it work so quick and work so well together, and also have this little click that you need to have with each other, and to see that in the first race together immediately there comes a win with it. That's really cool.
I think it's a great experience with Marcel. He's calm, he's quite confident, and I think it's always good for a leader in a team that he has the confidence he has to have, and so we catch it on, and we also confident for the races then.
As a sprinter, it's always good to get a connection with your last man. to see especially how he reacts in situations that are not predicted, and then you know the real value of a lead-out man. But that has to grow, and I think for the moment it's only the first race.
Up the ramp, there's a crash. One of the riders has gone down. Viviani trying to get to the line. Viviani takes the win.
Yesterday, everything went more or less perfect. 178 kilometers, and then into that bloody tunnel.
The Queen stage of the Tour of Dubai, and we are trying to get the best result possible. And I think we have some good guys for that.
A display of enormous strength from the Movistar man who takes the win. Marcel Kittel comes over. Great ride from him.
So we are going to do the last 10 kilometers of the race. We're going to do the recon. Last night we already had a tactical meeting about it. We are just going to confirm or say there are small changes which can be important for the tactic, or we say it's a go and everything is okay. So at 6.7 we go left onto the big road towards the roundabout. I texted you also, Brian.
Marcel Kittel in the red jersey. Viviani is challenging him. It's a win for Marcel Kittel.
When we went around the corner, I knew this is going to be good. Actually, already when the team did this amazing ride to the front in that tunnel 2 kilometers before the finish. When you can feel it in the race that everything is going good, then every good situation adds up, and at the end you're super confident. I think there's not much more to ask for. It's amazing how we started here all together, and I'm now really looking forward to the next races.
April 6th, stage 1 of Tour of the Basque Country. We came around the final corner with about a K to go. The field sprint is going, guys are swerving left and right, and we're going about 60k an hour. And there were some metal poles in the middle of the road that had not been barricaded off, or there was no referee with a flag or a hay bale or anything. A few guys saw it last minute, swerved out of the way, and just opened up right in front of me, so I had no time to react. I hit the metal poles going, about 40 miles an hour, 60k an hour, direct impact on my knee and my leg.
In April 2015, Peter Stettiner was involved in what some believed at the time to be a career-ending crash. In a season where he was producing some of his best numbers, the Colorado native suffered a monumental setback.
Shattered my kneecap, cracked my tibia from the top down, tibial plateau, tore my LCL and 5 ribs. You didn't feel anything at first. It was, you're so programmed to get up and just get across the line. You knew that if you just get across the line, you have pack time. And before I think I hit so hard, I actually killed a lot of nerves immediately. And I remember trying to get up with all the adrenaline, and I kind of realized I couldn't, and my leg wouldn't move. And then pretty soon after that, the team director was holding me down, saying no, don't worry about it, you're not going to finish this one. And then they packed me up pretty quick, and then that's when I realized that it was pretty bad. And then the pain really started to set in. The majority of people believed it was the end of my career, and I did a lot of back and forth. I mean, there's quite a few dark days after that.
The light that shone through those dark moments was his passion for racing.
These are the first circles, 90mm cranks, but it's a start.
And then you also realize that this isn't something you want to give up yet, and it is something that you need to see out and finish out. And I told myself that I still need a functioning leg for the rest of my life, even if I don't race a bike, because I want to be able to play soccer with my kids someday or whatever. And So I at least needed to use the tools I have as an elite athlete to rehab the best I can for the rest of my life. So that kind of became my excuse, and that became my training.
And just 4 months after his crash, Stettiner was back at the Tour of Utah.
The metal was all out of the knee, but it was still a little weak in case of a crash. You had to be careful. So all the metal was still in my leg, rod and 14 screws, but it healed well. And so I had been riding my bike for about 3 weeks, actually training for about 3 weeks.
Stettiner's comeback momentum continued pretty quickly, with another World Tour contract soon on the table.
Trek got pretty concrete real quickly after they saw me start Tour of Utah. They said, we believe you can come back if you're already racing and able to hang in the peloton.
Formerly known as a big team player, the crash has since helped focus Stettiner's sights on individual as well as more unselfish success.
One thing you realize when you have an event like this happen is, at the end of the day, it's still your career and your livelihood, and you can't always just ride in the service of others and in anonymity. You need your own chances for your own life, and Trek really provided that. They wanted to have a bit more of an American flair, and the American races are important for their markets. And at the same time, they also need help in those grand tours, and especially the mountains. They're looking to really bolster that up. So I fit in what Luca and Trek were looking for. In terms of how I judge my season is, it's 1, get back to 100%. Overall health is way more important. 2, race California for myself and for Trek and try to bring home something big. 3, try to make the tour team and help Boak in the mountains. And then 4, as an American, you always want to go to the Olympics. And it's a climber's course this year, so that's the holy grail as well.
The opening months of any road cycling season have a familiar pattern. Riders in new kits, trying to establish early season form, but on bikes still made up of 2 wheels attached to a frame. However, look closer towards a particularly orange section of the pro peloton, and there's a new sight to behold. Disc brakes have come to the road.
Last August, we tested the disc brakes, and we got 2 guys to ride with them. And since then, we went with the discs. And our bike manufacturer, Isaac, was very interested in making them. So then it finally happened. We thought that the signals from UCI were such that it would go ahead. So we started on time to plan the season with Schramm and Isaac, and to make the bikes with new disc brakes.
After the sport's governing body announced that disc brakes were permitted for use in the 2016 season, Remporte Oranje Peloton, a pro-continental team, announced they would be the first to fully adopt discs on the road. By January's training camp, the Dutch squad's 20 riders were having to readjust their braking. Some, like Marc de Maar, were delighted with the change.
I was really happy. I have mountain bikes. I still mountain bike quite a lot, so I was already used to disc brakes. I actually knew already that we'd gain a lot from them. There were a lot of riders that had a shock from the switch, because you do have more powerful brakes compared to the older brakes. What I think a lot of cyclists didn't know was that you can control the brake pressure more compared to the older brake. So it is perfect for the peloton, which is quite conservative, so whenever there is something new, there is a shock.
While no other teams at the very top level have yet joined Remporte on discs, some are believed to be looking into giving their riders the option between the 2 systems. But for the Remporte mechanics who have overseen the team's transition, providing such a choice is easier said than done.
We had to rebuild the truck for wheel racks, the car rack, and we had to make alterations to the work stands. Different bikes aren't an option. You have to take so much equipment with you to the race, so if you had one with disc brakes and another with a rim brake, no, it's a non-starter. So we give each rider 3 bikes with disc brakes, and they have to use those for the whole year.
For the pressure part of a mechanic's job, there's a new skill to learn. Getting to grips with the new through-axle wheel release has been a steady process. It's meant Roompot wheel changes on the road have been slower than most other teams.
They are relatively new. The disc brake wheel changes take a little longer, and we had to do it several times until we got the hang of changing them. It's going well at the moment, but it could be quicker. We've all been really busy with it, and it has to get better. It will get better.
Another of the hurdles to overcome centres on the weight.
The weight of the bike is heavier. A group set is 450 grams heavier, and the frame is also 200 grams more. We're doing our utmost to make the bike lighter, but it's difficult. You can't easily make up for the 650 grams, but we should certainly achieve 7.1 or 7.2 kilograms.
It's mainly because it's new, a different frame, another type of wheel and bike preparation. So for everyone it's new, especially for the mechanics who have to get used to it. There will always be some problems in the beginning, but we are prepared to overcome them.
Despite the problems, there don't seem to be any regrets within the team. Understandably, there's keen interest in the disc experiment from other parties in the peloton. Such have been the reported performance benefits enjoyed by the Roompot riders. Don't be surprised if disc brakes are a little more common this time next year.
Vooral als het nat is. Dus voorheen duurde het gewoon
Previously with rim brakes, it took 2 or 3 rotations before a carbon wheel began to brake when it was wet. Now with disc brakes, you can just brake on the spot with a lot of power. Yes, there is a lot of interest within the peloton, not only with other cyclists, but also mechanics and team leaders. I think a lot of people have realised that it is the future and there isn't a way back. So a lot of cyclists are curious of the differences.
I'd visualise winning other races, definitely. As a cyclist growing up, training, you know, you do it with your friends, you're out and you're sprinting for town signs and you put your hands in the air and you practice different winning salutes, but I'd not thought about the Richmond finish line. I mean, I wish I'd got that classic cycling world champion shot, you know, hands in the air, but I suppose it's authentic. When I crossed the finish line, I did that, you know, hand over my mouth, wow, ooh, I've done it. And then complete shock, elation. It was all sorts of emotions. I mean, it's something that you dream about every single day when you're on the bike.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't remember anymore. No, it's something special. Like, I never have that feeling when I was crossing the finish line in Richmond. It's something different, and it was some dream. But it's not also a dream, because I never dreaming about to win world championships, and after I did it, and it was very nice. Like, you cannot compare with another victory.
I'm very protective of my rainbow jerseys. I don't let them go in the team wash with everyone else's. You know, I like them to stay white. I still feel pride every time I put it on. And then in the race, it felt even better than training. Yeah, it was a really nice feeling to be world champion, and having the jersey makes you feel a little bit stronger, probably. And people are fighting for my back wheel instead of sticking me in the gutter.
I enjoying on the training, and yeah, I have respect about this jersey, and yeah, I'm not the rider like, okay, now I don't want, like, everybody watch me and everybody knows me with this jersey, and then I go training with black jersey or something, like with neutral jersey. That is not my style, and no, I am happy with this. Maybe it's different in the group, like you have this jersey, but still race is hard. You have to train the same, and you have to be concentrated same. For sure, it's a different race. It's very nice and historic race. For me, it's something like, yeah, it's just one race in the year. Maybe it's not very important, like a World Tour or something, but it's a nice race from the start season. Important, very hard, and yeah, it's. I like this race.
It would be a huge compliment for me to be, made a comparison with Peter, because I admire the way he races. He's got panache. He looks, he's got class on the bike. I'm in good shape, but it's not a goal race for me this weekend. I love the race. It's an iconic race.
If you're doing your best and you are second, third, fourth, or you are 20, it doesn't matter. But important, do your best, what you can.
Fabio Cancellara has an XD bar on the wheel. Fabio Cancellara takes the win. What a finale to the 10th edition of this race.
It's an opportunity for us to sort of showcase what we can do, and I think Strade Bianca is one of those races where you'll see a fantastic women's race. It's going to be brutal, but it's going to be a good race to watch. I mean, I have so many silvers from my career, and then I turned it around, and that gave me the belief that I could deliver. That was what it's about. It's about delivering on those champion days.
That's all for this week. We'll see you next time, but until then, keep up to date with us on social media.